Alright, what's going on, guys? Dom The Commish here, and today we're going to be talking about the fantasy implications for honestly, my big three tight ends on this draft. I think really that these are the only guys who could turn out to be absolutely, completely unbelievable talents, Tyler Warren, Colson Loveland, and Harold Fannin Jr. Today we're going to be talking about them, depending on landing spots, who's the best, fits, and everything for each team and where I think they're going to go. And yeah, if you guys like this kind of video, kind of comparing a bunch of different players, please leave a like and subscribe. And before we get into this, let's just try to get to 20. We're one sub away. But yeah, let's get it going. Starting with Tyler Warren. Respectable, kind of in the middle of both of these guys in terms of stat line wise. 104, 1,200 yards and 4 touchdowns. He did this in the Big Ten. I mean, he's playing against really good opponents all year, which is why he's ranked above Harold Fannin Jr. Because while he did have more yards and touchdowns, he definitely had a lot harder competition. If you look at all of his games, so he had his worst game probably became in the first game against WVU, and then he kind of took off from there. 146, had a couple of short games before that infamous game against USC where he was absolutely unbelievable. I mean, he had 224 yards, 17. He broke the receptions record, and I think he was close to breaking the yards record. He was close for Penn State, and then went absolutely nuclear. Still played in a couple, and after this game, all of the teams went crazy on Tyler Warren, and he still went crazy. Had a couple 100-yard games, played well, at least a couple receptions in each, and ending the season pretty well. And Tyler Warren's the do-it-all guy for Penn State. He was a big rusher. I mean, you see here he had 63 yards and a touchdown here, 47 yards here, 16, 13, 32. He played a quarterback sometimes. He even played center for that big catch against USC. It's the reason why people have him so high, and the reason why they have him in the top couple of picks. So let me actually pull up the mock draft simulator. Here are the teams that I think could be in the market for a tight end this year. In no particular, I guess, in the order of this. I think the New York Jets could definitely be in the market for a tight end. They really don't have anyone on the board right now, and I think that's honestly the most likely scenario where he goes. Let's see. You've got Andrews, no. Kincaid, no. McBride, no. Pitts, probably not. Bengals could definitely use one. Njoku, no. Jatavion Sanders, definitely could be using one. Kmet, I don't think the Chicago Bears would. Broncos, Evan Ingram, no. Texans, Dalton Schultz, definitely could, but I don't think so. Dallas, don't think so. Jake Ferguson, Detroit, no. Sam Laporta. The Indianapolis Colts, definitely. Jaguars, they just lost Evan Ingram. They have Brenton Strange, but I don't think it's off the table for them just yet. Green Bay, they have Tucker Kraft. I don't think it's going to be a problem. LA Rams, yes. Chiefs, maybe in the later rounds, but not in the first couple. Las Vegas, Bowers, no. Hawkinson, no. Juwan Johnson, they just signed, no. Chargers, definitely. Miami, Jonnu Smith, no. Giants, Theo Johnson, they definitely could be looking for a tight end. Eagles, Goddard, no. Hunter Henry, I don't think so. Kittle, no. Noah Fant, Seahawks could be in the market for one. Pat Freiermuth, no. Chigakonkwo, not amazing, could be. And then Otten and Ertz. I think these are the main teams that will be in the running for drafting Tyler Warren, right? And I think he's going to be the first one off the board. So overall, I think that the Titans won't be taking him here. That'll be Cam Ward. The Giants won't be taking him. It'll probably be Travis Hunter. The Jaguars probably won't take him this early, especially with Mason Graham's on the board. So I think that most likely he goes to the Jets here at 7. And the reason I say that is because I think that he's an absolute, surefire talent. The Jets really are in desperate need of another pass catcher since losing Devontae Adams. They've just got Justin Fields. Why not give him a really good tight end to throw to? And if he goes to the Jets, and I guess I'll be looking at this mock draft to figure out where kind of everyone goes. I think in fantasy wise for rookies, you have, I think Ashton Jeanty easily is the number 1. depending on where they go, I think that McMillan and Hampton could definitely be two of the next three. If Travis Hunter goes to the Giants here, I think he plays receiver too, so he could be up in this scenario, in this thing. I think I am gonna go McMillan just because he's more of a surefire talent. And then at pick 3 is Hampton. Pick 4 is most likely gonna be Cam Ward, quarterback. And obviously this is not based on what people have on their teams. Pick 5 is Travis Hunter, and then I think that pick 6 would be Tyler Warren right here. I think that, top 10 pick tight end. This is a non-tight end premium league. If it's tight end premium, I can see him going over Travis Hunter. Not only of these 4 guys, I think they're the best 4, fantasy-wise players in the draft. Travis Hunter could be if he plays full-time receiver, but I don't think he will. I think he'll play a lot of corner and receiver, unless it's the Patriots. If it's the Patriots, I think he's going to play full-time receiver. But overall, I think that 6th overall for Tyler Warren, he's going to be an elite fantasy tight end on the New York Jets. I have him ranked right under Mark Andrews and over guys like Dave Njoku, Dalton Kincaid, and those guys. You can see I'm not big on Colston Loveland. I think they're going to use, whoever drafts him is going to use him as more of a blocker and like a decoy rather than a actual like big receiver. I think Harold Fannin Jr. is going to be better fantasy-wise. But Colston Loveland could definitely be the better player overall. But I don't think any of the others should go in the first round unless it's maybe BPA. Panthers probably not going to take guy. I think they're going to take maybe Shamar Stewart. The Colts here, their number 1 need is a tight end, but I feel like it's still way too early to take Colston Loveland off the board here. Hence why I think I'm going to go with maybe like a linebacker and maybe Jalen Walker or Tyler Booker. But anyways, it doesn't matter because I'm not taking him right now. Bengals, once again, still too early to take him. I'll probably just take a safety. Seattle, once again, don't think they're going to take one of these guys. So let's just grab an offensive lineman. I'm not really too cared about this position wise. I'm just worried about the tight ends here. And after talking about Tyler Warren, we go into Colston Loveland, who really didn't have an amazing season, but also Michigan didn't have an amazing season. His best game came against number 1 Oregon with 112 yards. But other than that, he's eclipsed 50 yards in less than half of his games. I know the passing game wasn't amazing and he was their only guy. But my issue with Loveland is that if you're a first round tight end, who's going to want to draft a blocking tight end in the first round when you could just get an offensive lineman, especially because his class is so deep? If I look at the Chargers, I see that they have a big tight end need. But if I look at this, do I want to draft a blocking tight end over a guy like Derek Harmon, or even over receivers like Emeka Egbuka and Luther Burden III? I can draft offensive linemen, or I can draft wide receivers. Why draft a tight end who does both, not that good in college, in the first round? So I don't think the Chargers take him here. I'd probably go with a receiver if I had to guess. I know they just got Mike Williams back, but he's not amazing. Rams could definitely be a option here. I feel like they have too many weaknesses to go there in the first round. So I think both Loveland and Fannin goes out of the first round. That's not a knock on both of them. Fannin didn't play enough good competition to be a first rounder, although I think that he is an unbelievable prospect. And Colston Loveland just didn't put up the stats to be the first rounder. Tyler Warren had the competition and the stats in order to be a first round talent. So with that out of the way, I think that means that it goes about most likely your next player is going to be maybe another running back or receiver, probably Travion Henderson. Then probably goes receiver like Egbuka, because I see Luther Burden. I think he's falling out of the first round in this draft, right? Or did he not? He did not. So he fell. So then probably goes once again maybe Shador. These orders all basically kind of just they're just kind of where players are going to go and what players are going to be better. So Caleb Johnson, I think we'll still go over them. Probably Trey Harris too. Jalen Milroe, and then at least those guys are the obvious ones. Giants in the second round, once again, I don't think that they will be good enough to go with a tight end here. I feel like they can go with a quarterback, maybe Jackson Dart here. The Titans, I still feel since they think Colston Loveland is a first round talent, they draft Cam Ward at number 1 overall. So I think it makes sense that Colston Loveland goes here to the Titans. And if that happens, I think that he can be drafted right here. I know they have Chigakonkwo, but he's been underwhelming since he came into the league. And do I think that Colston Loveland can turn this team around? Probably not. However, it's not a terrible shout to put him here. I mean, at the 2-3, actually, that's funny. The 2-3 in both drafts. But, yeah, I think that he's pretty much ahead of all of these guys and behind all of these guys. I don't think Harold Fannin is too far behind. I think that most likely Isaiah Bond goes and Ollie Gordon goes. And then I don't know anybody else who would go above Harold Fannin depending on the landing spot. So let's keep going. Jags, they have Bretton Strange. I don't think they're going to draft a linebacker. Not a linebacker, a tight end. The Jets took him in the first round. We'll probably just take an edge here. And then I think the Colts right here is where Harold Fannin Jr. is going to go. Which means that I think Harold Fannin Jr. is going to go directly right here. So, all three tight ends going in the first round and a half. And, Harold Fannin Jr. had a unbelievable season. 1,500 yards, 117 receptions, 10 touchdowns. He was the guy for Bowling Green. And if you look at his games, I mean, you can see 67, 137, 145. He had a 4-game stretch here. He had over 100 yards in each game, including against number 8 PSU. So even though that he didn't play amazing competition, I mean, Kent State he played, Western Michigan, Miami, Ohio. It's not amazing competition. However, it's still great competition. He had a big rush against Akron for this touchdown. One run. He also had 145 yards against Texas A&M, who ended the season ranked. I think that Harold Fannin Jr. definitely has more potential than Colston Loveland, but because of how high Loveland's going to be drafted, I think he's going to be going over him. So, overall, where does this leave us? I think that Harold Fannin Jr. in the long run could definitely be a better tight end prospect. Or sorry, wrong way around. I think that Colston Loveland in the long run could be a better tight end prospect than Fannin. So why in redrafts I have him really low. But Harold Fannin Jr. will make an impact right away, especially if he goes to a team like the Colts. So this is Jets, Titans, Colts. I think that Tyler Warren is just the best of both worlds and easily the best tight end in the class. Colston Loveland gives you long-term upside. Harold Fannin gives you instant production and good fantasy-wise. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this analysis of the 3 tight ends, and I'll see you in the next video.